Well, Damian Lillard is a very quiet guy, but boy, did he voice himself recently at his Formula Zero camp, which hosts some of the top collegiate athletes and high school basketball players. Dame had some things to say to some youngins that hopefully help them realize when you get to the professional level, it ain't just roses and dandies all day. Things get real, and you got to be ready for it. Dame criticized the current setup of the youth basketball system and how pampering the younger basketball players today only does nothing but hurt them in the long run. Dame said all these people hanging on to them and kissing their asses and putting them in a position where they feel entitled, and their mentality is messed up a bit about what it's going to be and having to earn stuff and having to work and take criticism and listening and being coachable and stuff like that. It puts these young players in a position to where those things let them down when they're in a professional environment and their talent can no longer get them through. You got to be stable and strong mentally. You got to be sturdy. You have to have something that you can stand on because it gets tough, according to Dame. I want to help these kids. They got all these followers on Instagram, but I want to help them have stuff that is not just a talent. I love hearing that from Damian Lillard. Got to be real with you guys. If you follow this platform for long enough, you'll know my sentiments. It is tough to get into some of these young middle school, high schoolers' careers like I used to. When I was coming up, one of the reasons why I was able to attach myself to young high school talents at my schools that I went to and others was because I knew what some of these kids come from. I knew some of the adversity that they were facing. Nowadays, by ninth grade, a kid's already got 2 million followers on Instagram, already is monetizing this platform, which I'm not mad at, and I'm happy that these kids are able to make in on their value early on. It's getting better and better for these kids, but there is a downside to that. They're getting pampered, like Dame said. They're getting everything thrown at them because it's nothing but a lot of yes men around them. Agents, shoe companies, all these people are getting around these kids at such an early age. Well, by the time they get to college and the professional level, you can't tell them nothing. And when they get criticized, a lot of these athletes we do see head down a depression rabbit hole because they've never been criticized in their life. They've never been told no in their life. They've been pampered and babied every step of the way because who was going to tell these kids no? It benefited you to be around these kids and tell them yes until they made the big bucks. Everybody's eating off these kids right now. So it is a tough, thin line, but I do believe the kids that still come from tough backgrounds, and obviously I don't root for kids to have tough backgrounds, but I just still believe this to be true. The kids that come from not just being poor, but not having everything given to them, I think that still makes for some of the better stars. If you look around the league, a lot of the best players, if you went through your top 10, a lot of those top 10 are not from the States. The Giannis's of the world, the Joel Embiid's of the world, the Nikola Jokic's of the world, they had to fight very, very hard to get where they're at now. They represent entire countries, oftentimes continents. There's just a different burden on someone's back when they didn't have shoes at the age of 13. It's just not the same as a kid that's on Instagram all day. These are just not the same things at stake here. And I think Dame is speaking to how difficult it probably been from when he was coming up to just now. He's not even an old guy. He's only about 31, 32 years old. He's like, it's probably tough playing with some of these young 20, 21-year-olds nowadays because there's such a gap in the mentality because of the yes men that a lot of these athletes have around them nowadays. Y'all let me know what y'all think about what Damian Lillard had to say at his recent Formula Zero camp, in which he called out not really the kids, but the people that continue to let the kids have their way and not call them out, be critical of them, and help teach them how to be young men. I'm out.